There are many different 5-card hands that can be dealt in a game of poker. A flush is a particular hand where all 5 cards are of the same suit but are not in rank order. For example, the King, 10, 7, 6 and 4 of clubs is known as a King High flush. For part A, we're asked what is the probability of being dealt a flush. So to get a flush, we know that we must have all cards of the same suit. So we start with 13 cards of the one suit and we select 5 of them. So that's the combination of 13 selecting 5, and any 5-card hand can be selected from 52 cards. So we have 52 select 5 cards. And now the other thing we need to remember is that there are 4 different suits. So we need to multiply this by 4 to account for the fact that we could have a flush in clubs or spades, hearts or diamonds. So using a calculator we can evaluate that, and we find that it's equal to 33 divided by 16,660. For part B, we're asked what is the probability of being dealt a King High flush. So the first thing we need to do is look at the 4 kings in the deck of cards, and we need to select just one of those. Then to complete the rest of that hand, we need to select 4 more cards. And because we want a King High flush, we know that we can't select a second king because we've already got a king in that suit, and we can't have an ace, or it would be an Ace High flush. So that means that there's 11 cards left to select 4 from, and then to get the probability we divide that by 52 cards, and selecting 5 of those is the number of ways we can get any 5-card hand. Once again, we can use a calculator to evaluate that, and if you do that, it's equal to 11 divided by 21,658. On the CAS calculator, you can see how the input would work, and you go into the advanced menu and use the NCR button to find the command for selections. This was the answer that we found for part A, and this was our answer for part B. A straight flush occurs when there are 5 cards in the same suit in sequential order. For example, we have the Queen, Jack, 10, 9 and 8 of hearts is one possible straight flush. The ace can be present in an Ace High or a 5 high straight flush. So that means you could have the 10, Jack, Queen, King and Ace for an Ace High, or you can have the Ace, 2, 3, 4 and 5 for the 5 high straight flush. What it can't do is be present in both a high and low flush. For part C, we're asked how many straight flushes are possible in a deck of cards. So in this explanation, I've already gone through 2 possible straight flushes, and these are all possible ones represented here. So I've already mentioned Ace, 2, 3, 4 and 5, which is a 5 high straight flush, and it goes through 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to the Royal flush, which is 10, Jack, Queen, King and Ace. If you count those up, there are 10 of those, and taking into account that there's 4 suits in a deck of cards, that means that there are 40 possible straight flushes that you can be dealt. From the previous slide, we knew that there were 40 different possible straight flushes in a deck of cards. And then we're going to use this information for part D, where we're asked to determine the probability of being dealt a straight flush. So the probability is the 40 straight flushes available in a deck of cards divided by the 52 cards. I'm going to select 5 of them for our 5-card hand. Again, using a calculator, we can evaluate that, and it is 1 divided by 64,974. So there's only about 1 in 65,000 hands that result in a straight flush. For part E, it says given you have a straight flush, so you've got one of those 40 hands, what is the probability that that hand contains a queen? If we flick back a slide, you can see that there's only 3 hands, 1, 2, 3, that contain a queen in the straight flushes. So taking into account that there's only 3 hands with queens present over 10, we know that there is a 0.3 probability that if you have a straight flush, that hand will contain a queen. A royal flush, as we mentioned before, is an ace high straight flush. So that means that you've got 10, jack, queen, king, and ace. And we're asked what is the probability of being dealt a royal flush in poker. So there's only one royal flush in every suit, which means that in total there's 4 royal flushes in a deck of cards that can be dealt. Once again, to turn that into the probability, we divide it by the 52 cards and we select 5 of those to be in our hand. Now if we evaluate that, that is equal to 1 divided by 649,740. So the probability of being dealt a royal flush in poker is only one hand in about every 650,000 hands, which isn't a very big probability at all.